Welcome to Sex Positions. This is the Open Bedroom Door Show, and on this segment, what I like to do is judge things as a sex therapist that are happening in media and society that are related to sex. And I'm your resident sex therapist. Hey! So today I want to talk to you about one of the things that's getting in the way of all of my couples. The most common story that brings people in to see me as a therapist is it starts actually at first baby. So right before you start trying to get pregnant, you and your partner are struggling with your sex life and you think, well, you know what, let's try and have a kid. And then that energy of trying to have a baby builds up the excitement and energy. So you're like, okay, well, sex was already kind of getting slow, but since we're having a baby, we're putting more energy, we're having a little more fun. So you start trying, and then one of you gets pregnant. Usually it's the woman. Because it can't be anyone. It's got to be the lady. Right? So she gets pregnant and it's like, okay, your whole body changes. And that does a lot, actually. That it changes energy. It changes, you're literally creating a baby. And so during that time, what happens is you're not talking very well to each other about how to have varieties of intimacy. So as that body changes, as you get tired, I remember when I was pregnant, I literally kept a couch, and I had a couch in my office, but I kept blankets and pillows just like these in my couch. And I would literally just go to bed, in between sessions when I was too tired, and I didn't have a client. That was my life when I was pregnant. And that's probably many of your lives too. And I exercised and stayed healthy, but it didn't matter. Your body is still creating a new being, right? So what happens is communication breaks down and you're not talking to each other about how can we still have different kinds of intimacy that are working with your energy levels. So that's one thing. And you're also not honoring your body through that, right? So either you have a partner who's respecting that and kind of backs away, or you have a partner that doesn't respect it and you're trying to make them feel happy or do everything for them. And then you're not having sex because you enjoy it. You're just doing it for them. When really what you need to have is creative different ways of being intimate and sexual with each other. So then that story, okay, you have the baby and it's great. And you're like, oh, it's so exciting. But then sex really tanks because you don't have a plan for that either, for how to stay intimate. You've already stopped being intimate before the baby came. Then there's that 6-week period from the docs. And then it doesn't stop because guess what? Postpartum is actually up to almost a year of changes in the body, of reorienting and figuring out what's going on. So if you don't have the communication before, you definitely don't have it after, and baby changes everything and makes you stressed. So then you try to have a second baby, and that does happen for a time, that you have sex and the intimacy gets a little better. But after that second baby happens, your desire just tanks. And typically it's about 2 to 3 years after that people come see me, the sex therapist. And it actually could have been prevented if you had good communication and an ability to be a little more creative and open-minded with your intimacy from the start. I want that to change for you. So part of the reason I created this whole series is that I want you to see that throughout every stage of the game, you can be intimate. Intimacy can change. And it can be part of the entire process, but it does have to change. And you have to learn how to honor your body and work together as a team.